If I take a look forward to 2035, global energy demand is going to increase by about 1/3. So then that pushes a question back to us as far as where are we going to put our time, put our effort, not only to benefit humanity and to decrease the amount of fossil fuel perhaps that we're going to use, but also in terms of business and economic growth. Cooking stoves have been a topic of interest for over 50 years and have come into greater interest in the past 20 and especially in the past 10 and past 5. And so when you're thinking about making an impact, it's not just cooking stoves, but it's the entire energy services area. Especially as we get down here for not just meeting basic needs, but how are we going to develop sustainable economies that are going to grow and thrive. So if we look at rural electrification, we all hear about lighting and we hear about cell phones. And that's generally the first and second use of electricity in remote rural areas. But as you'd see down here, and this is from some of my experience in Vietnam, is that what's that next step? Is it going to be televisions? And if you look at Vietnam, it's a country of about 100 million people. Back when I was there in 2008, 99% electrification rate, and 97% of the people own televisions. So we're trying to figure out, in rural electrification, are we looking at solar lanterns, battery charging stations become popular, solar home systems, microgrids I'm sure everyone knows about in here, and then also grid extension. But if you look at a couple of these just at the sheer economics or some of the technical implications, solar lanterns are great for lighting, but the question is what's the next step? And the same thing with grid extension is it's just too expensive for many communities. And so I've worked in many of those communities where there is no line going to anything. And so one of the first projects that we did is actually battery charging stations. And what you would have in this is you'd have a community. There would be a centralized facility that collects these 100 amp hour car batteries because they're locally available, brings those from the household back to the battery charging station, charges those, and then brings them back to the house thereafter. And so it doesn't just provide lighting, it provides various DC and then also some AC needs. And so what we were able to find through this project in a few different cities over in Mali is that people were actually increasing the amount of money that they spent per household on energy or on electricity. In a large country where we can get the price of electricity for 15 cents per kilowatt hour, or you can use disposable batteries for $200 per kilowatt hour, there is this gigantic canyon of opportunity. And so you can come in at 50 cents per kilowatt hour, and so you're seeing price of electricity such as U.S. Virgin Islands and Hawaii. You could also see something northward of $2 or $3, and it could still be used for a variety of different needs. So don't limit yourself in your design thinking. And this took us to a question of, well, if we're going to put together a microgrid, or we're going to put together solar home systems, do we need what is often described as 5 nines reliability? Do we need power 24/7? And you can get some significant cost savings for the benefit of the user in upwards of 20 to 30% if you allow for circumstances of the lights to go off in the village for a matter of 2 evenings out of the year or 3 evenings out of the year. And so significant cost savings. We're running simulations to understand what we should do and what we want to do, simulating different scenarios with different amounts of renewables, cost structures for the individuals, and then also storage, etc. What I see throughout our modeling work and throughout our educational work is that we're doing projects for industrialized countries or for emerging markets. They're really quite the same. And so whether we're powering the clean energy revolution or powering the transition out of poverty, these are truly one and the same to myself and my group. Thank you.